Test, test, test. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Dang, man, I gotta do the whole intro again? What a shame. I don't even know what's going on because it looked like it was good on my side. You guys hear me? Good to go, finally. Oh my gosh, dude. All right, hold on. Hold on, guys. Let's just reset for a minute. Let's just reset for a minute. Chat. Let me chew on some ice with you guys. Good morning. Welcome back to another live stream. Let's do the whole damn thing again. I'm going to hop right into analysis. You guys know the intro. Read the disclaimer. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You guys know the full thing. I'm not a financial advisor. It's for entertainment purposes only. Good morning. Welcome back to another live stream here. It's May 26th. We're going to get after it. Finally that you can hear me. God, man. I did the good mornings and everything. I said good morning to everybody on here. Thank you guys for letting me know. Finally started to scroll down. Dear Lord. Talked about Memorial Day. That was like a lot. Killed 5 minutes here. All right, guys. Let's get right into analysis. We're here on the Top 1 Futures live account through Trade8 on TradingView here. We're trading YM off the open. I'm going to be looking at NQ. We're going to be talking about scalping NQ more aggressively. Trading YM on the mean reversion setup. Got a lot of big things cooking. But first and foremost, let's get some analysis rolling since now we killed a couple minutes. Still early. We got 15 minutes to market open. I am using volume profile to get started here. Gonna use volume profile. I cleared everything on my chart this morning so we could do a fresh chart markup together. Okay, guys? If you have questions, concerns, comments, keep them to yourself. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead and ask, as we're doing this. But first thing I'm gonna do is use a fixed range volume profile to mark off prior weeks high, prior weeks low, prior weeks volume point of control, value area high, value area low. So let's go ahead and get started with that. This is going to be, let's get ready to mark it up. Prior week, value area high. We're going to mark off prior week value area low. I find these levels to be interesting to watch outside of my discretionary levels, which we're going to mark up next. My chart markup's pretty damn simple here, guys. We like to keep it stupidly simple. The important one, prior week VPOC, volume point of control. And then we can come right off of the weekly chart and mark off our prior week high and our prior week low. All right, we got some objective levels on the chart, okay? Obviously, these are much higher time frame levels. We're taking the entire week into consideration here, but I like that. And I think this is something that you guys can take right to your chart. You don't have to ask me where prior week's high, prior week's low is, value area high, value area low. It's not my opinion. These are objective levels. You can find them the exact same way that I just found them on my chart. Okay, now we get into discretionary stuff, right? Where you're not going to find it exactly the same as I find it on my chart, right? We're going to mark off some horizontal areas of interest, some boxes, some lines. Let's jump out to the daily first, see what we got going on. Big push, man. Big push to the upside. Finally getting above all-time highs, breaking above this this prior all-time high. NQ, we're going to go ahead and mark that one up again as well. Big continuation to the upside after a nice pullback. I'm kind of interested to see where we go from here. I really am. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and get some discretionary levels marked up here. Yeah, we got some nice overlay down here. Obviously, this is just such a key spot. Prior week's volume point of control is the line in the sand right there. Up above the highs, value area high from prior week is really a clean level. These are actually really nice. These are actually really nice. Just zoom out on the 15-minute, zoom out on the 1 hour, just get a little frame of reference here. Let this volume profile reset. Yeah, man. So I'm not going to mark too many levels here, guys. I'm not going to mark 47,000 to the downside and upside. I think I'm going to go near price today and just take a look at what we have setting up. And if we're going to pull back, what I'd be looking for. Yeah, right in here to Friday's volume point of control. That's going to get a zone right there. right over here. Okay. This is last week's close. This is prior day volume point of control. It's a naked volume point of control. It would be filling the gap to the downside. Very interesting area right here. Okay. Right, outside of our higher time frame, you know, prior week high, prior week value area high, right, the big weekly levels we just marked off. This is the next area of interest to the downside here, right? It's Friday's volume. Excuse me. Oh, we got Monday combined in here. I almost forgot. Okay, it's still Friday's volume point of control, untested volume point of control. It's the gap from session changeover. This is interesting here. It's also temporary volume point of control when I zoom out like this. Down below that, we got a little bit down here. Just a little bit near this Thursday close consolidation from the overnight session. This is another naked volume point of control all the way down here. But if we started to get down below this level with some force, we might dip our toes outside. But I think we would come down pretty quick. And if we started to sell off like that, prior week's value area high is really clean, man. I don't know that I need too many more zones up here. You know, this could be one, but I think I'm going to leave this pretty light today. This is the area that I'm watching to the downside. Yeah, like down in here, sweeping this close, right? Testing this level right here. Here's the area of interest, but I'd be looking for a deep push in if we sold off for a potential mean reversion long play. To the upside, let's zoom out now, not to make you guys dizzy. To the upside, we got nothing. We got nothing over here. Absolutely nothing looking left, right? So we're now into all-time highs, no man's land here on YM. So, I'm going to be looking to the top of this candle, right? We'll be looking to this price action market structure, this overnight high. You know, that's going to be the area of interest. I don't really need a line up there. Well, we could put one for fun. You know? Overnight high, prior day high. Excuse me, overnight high, current, you know, session. Since these two are combined from Sunday all the way into Tuesday here, we got one volume profile. Technically, I guess it's two different sessions since we got the early close yesterday. But this all-time high is what I'm gonna be looking at. So, long story short, chat. Pretty unbiased coming into this open. Obviously, very bullish, right? Very, very, very bullish. You know, we know what the U.S. indices have been doing. YM a whole lot choppier week after week after week here, while NQ is pushing the upside. Much choppier, but looking at looking at last week's push to the upside, this is looking bullish. Cracking all-time highs, you know, cracking prior day high after prior day high here. You can see it. If we get a little bit of a pullback down here, I'm going to look to long that. I'm going to look to long right off of this zone. Like I said, probably deep in here, right? I like that as an interesting spot. I like this as an interesting spot. That would allow me to get long in here. Stop loss would be way outside here. Even if we have to come down and dance around down here, I could survive that for a push to the upside. And I'm wrong if we just absolutely sell off, right? If we just sell off into the open and then dump. We pop to the upside. I don't like fading this that much, but let's talk about exactly what I'm looking for. I would want us to drive right into this. I would want us to drive right to that point. I'm not going to take a short if we do this, if we do this crap, and then we get here. I'm not short. I'm not shorting this, okay? If we pop off the open, we pull this BS over-exaggerated movement to run stops up here, take everybody out, and then potentially move lower, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that to the downside, okay? If we trend to the upside, we chop back and forth, and, you know, we do close this gap, and for some reason I don't get long, we push all the way back up, I'm not going to fade that. I've done it too many times, and it's just not my good setup. So, really aggressive crack to the upside. Really aggressive crack to the upside. I'm going to say the 150s are my line in the sand. The 150s, like right in here. I could get myself involved, like, below this level, but not before the 150s. If I'm in off of VWAP, I did something wrong. So something like that for a mean reversion short play. Back down to close this gap. You know, back down to fill this. But I would prefer the long. I'll take either one. I prefer the long. And again, I'm looking into the 50,600s. Down here for a nice long. That's my play on YM, guys. You got my chart, you got my markup. You know, plenty of time, of time ahead of the market open. What we're looking for. Let's talk about NQ. Let's talk about NQ, and then we'll talk about the chat. We'll see what you guys got rolling here. Let's go ahead and mark this up. I'll tell you what I'm looking at on NQ. I'll start to talk a little bit more about the scalpy approach that I'm working on NQ. That I've been, trading NQ for quite a while, but we'll talk about what we're looking at on NQ. First and foremost, let's get these levels marked up. Let's get out to the daily. Let's get prior day high and overnight high marked up. I do like to mark those on NQ, and I think I'm gonna get the same thing. That's going to be our Friday candle. I'm going to go for Friday. Technically, we traded on Monday, but I'm going to go for Friday. And I'm going to go for overnight low right here. And I'm going to go for... Although this is funky. This is kind of funky. Technically our Asia London low could be a little bit different. But I'm going to use the current candle. Got about 2 minutes to to market open, guys. So I'm going to try to get this done pretty quick. We're going to go again for our fixed range volume profile. We are going to come all the way back out to here's session changeover, the end of last week. Here is last Friday coming into Sunday. There's market open. There's market close of last week. We got our prior week value area high. We got our prior week value area low. We got our prior week low, which I'm going to tune up right there, and we got our prior week volume point of control right here. And where's prior week high? In here. Let's go out to the weekly real quick, tune that up. Sorry guys, I'm gonna make this quick, but this is the full chart markup from the beginning. I'm not doing discretionary levels right now on NQ. I don't feel the need to get that aggressive with it. We got enough lines on the damn chart already. We'll talk about NQ. I'm going to watch YM off the open. We'll pop over to NQ. We'll talk about NQ. Talk about getting scalpy on NQ. What happened to my... oh, because I took all of the drawings and everything off of my YM. There we go. All right, guys. Coming into NYSE Open. Let's see what we get. Again, looking at this zone for a potential long. Looks like we might head right there. Looks like we might head right there. Looking for a crack all the way down in here. All the way down in here. For a potential long on YM. Back up towards VWAP. Chat, what's up, guys? Good morning, Snowjorb. 30 MD30. Good morning, Zach. Long time no see. Long time no see. I'm here every day, bro. Market was closed yesterday. I had off on Friday. Dear Lord, guys, I leave you alone for one day and it's long time no see. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. Good morning, Zach. You still use TradeSyncer? If you do, how highly do you recommend it? I miss you, mate. You guys are funny. Yeah, TradeSyncer is solid, guys. I still do use TradeSyncer. I'm not really copy trading tons of accounts together. I've used it for some different things. I'm probably going to use it again in the future for some more stuff, not to get into too much detail. How highly do I recommend it? I think it's the best copy trader available, but I do think that all third-party trade copiers, cloud-based or local, have issues. You will inevitably have something, and that's an inherent risk, right? I think it's leaps and bounds better than everything else that I've seen and tested out there. But copy trading, you know, just like everything else in trading, there's no free lunch, right? You're taking on additional risk with copy trading. You're daisy chaining more accounts together. You're not only increasing risk, you're adding a layer, right? A software layer in there, and that's a potential for error. Good questions, guys. Feel free to ask more questions. I'm watching this market sell off, looking for this long. Looking for this long like we talked about. Again, down below this zone. I'm going to try not to be too conservative. Try not to be too aggressive. Right down the middle. I've had a lot of near misses. A lot of, like, real close trades. I'm going to try to find my way in without being just too overly aggressive, right? If I enter here every day, what the F did I mark a zone for, right? If I was going to jump the gun, and here's my actual entry spot, right, as we close the gap down here. If I was going to enter 100 points before that, what the hell am I doing, right? So, but I've had a handful of those. It was pretty frustrating early part of last week. Yeah, this looks beautiful. Even looking at ES to come down, fill the last bit of liquidity, and grab a long ski here, guys. I'm gonna go a little bit wide on a stop loss. I'd love it all the way outside of all of this nonsense. Super close to Friday's volume point of control. Super close to this zone. Not all the way in. Really nice aggressive sell-off with no pullback. This is exactly what I like to see for the long. Can it give it to me? We've had a lot of these. I've had a lot of these sessions though, right off the open, where we get really close and I just don't snag it. Finding buyers here. Waiting for that long. Waiting for that long ski. Man, I really do like this long. Let's see. See if we get it. We don't want to come all the way down and fill. Close. Really close, but not taking it. Really close, but not taking it. Let's see. Still super valid. We come all the way back through and hit VWAP. It's obviously invalidated. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let's see if patience is going to pay me today. Looking for a nice clean out down here, man. Let's see. I'll come back to the chat with you guys here. Not wanting to break through here. Yeah, I gotta stick to my guns here, guys. I gotta stick to my guns here. We're trying to hold this up. I don't want to front run this and have a stop loss where it shouldn't be. As soon as we crack into this zone, though, down towards the bottom, right, filling this gap, that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna try to catch it from the middle ground. I don't want to front run it. I really don't want to jump the gun here. I'd prefer not to miss a trade, but it's not a missed trade if I don't get the entry, right? Let's see. Watching ES bookmap over here come down, fill some liquidity. YM not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Taking a look at NQ, taking a look at YM on bookmap. Nothing really down there. Man, is this gonna be another one of those? Is this going to be another one of these? Going to be another close but no cigar for my entry? Chat. Chatty McChat chat. Let's see. Let's see. You guys know what I mapped out. You know the movement that I mapped out. I'm waiting patiently for my entry, and close. Close, but not even tapping the zone. Like I said multiple times, I really wanted it off the lows. I'd get a little bit more aggressive in here, but what the hell is the point of drawing a zone if you're never going to wait for price to hit it? You're going to get involved and do something before it. Man. All the way down, real close to coming all the way through, and finding buyers off this low. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if we come all the way right back through to VWAP, and that's our bounce. Chat. What's up? Nate, what's up? Look pretty. Most Monday, Tuesdays you could have. Yeah, yeah. How are, what's up? Yeah, good, good, good. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Yeah, we were muted. We were muted for a while, and everybody went crazy on that one. You guys are funny. Watching this market before hopping over to NQ. See if this thing's going to test me today. Sloth, got a W in the, off the open. Nice. We'll post to Discord. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Yeah, how you guys making out so far today? How are we doing so far today, chat? Reading a couple messages here, see what you guys got going on. And just so you guys are in the loop, I'm trading live here, you guys. Trading live here with you guys until about, I'm gonna say 10:45, 11-ish, and then I am on Prop for a Match TV. On Prop for a Match TV today at 11:30 with the other Zach A. Be trading live with those guys. All the details in the Discord as always. Keep you guys updated in there. What do you have for me here, YM? A real close move, real close hitting my zone and finding buyers off these lows, man. Staying patient so far. Try not to do anything too crazy. Nothing even close on NQ just yet. Taking a look around at all of these. Yeah, ES turning to the downside. Cracked pre-market low, popped right back up. Let's see. Damn, man. YM, man. YM. Close, but didn't give it to me. Real close, but didn't give it to me. Not quite invalidated just yet. Not quite invalidated just yet, but getting there. Getting there. Didn't hit yet. Friday's volume point of control. Didn't come all the way down and fill this. Fill this wide open. This gap right here. Right? Didn't come all the way into this closing candle high. Look at the 1 minute and see where this is. Didn't come all the way down in here for this. Close though. Not that close. Not that close. Let's see. Let's see. Long off, long ES off Asia low sweep. Nice. Nice, nice. Very nice. Catching some longs. Awesome. Reading through your guys' chat. You were all yelling at me before because we were muted. We got past that. Too funny. Too funny. Dang, man. We're going to hop over to NQ and get some scalpy moves in. I'm going to talk about scalping NQ really aggressively. What I'm working on prop accounts. What's been paying me pretty damn well. YM continues to just throw these beautiful mean reversion movements, but I will say it's been staying inside a little bit more than I like. I'm caught waiting for these larger, over-exaggerated movements, and I've had a handful of them. Had a handful of them last week where mapped something like this out really, really close, right? Looking for a sell-off into the open. We start to get it. We get real close down here, and we come all the way back through. Yeah, this is still okay. This is still okay. If we got all the way back up to VWAP, we got all the way back up here, I'd say no good. But we're still all right. So I'm gonna stay on this for now. Not quite ready for the beast just yet. Let's see what we got, chat. See what we got rolling. Let's see what we got rolling, man. Reading a couple of messages. Oh, you guys were even telling me in Discord. You guys were even telling me in Discord that I was muted. Thanks for trying. I know I wasn't paying attention, but thanks for trying. That's too funny. That's way too funny. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got for news, man. Let's see what we got for news. In case you guys didn't see over the weekend, it was back and forth, flip-flop with the Trump stuff. I posted a little bit on IG about that. You know, the deal's close to being done. We're very close, and then we're not going to, we're not going to have a deal. Time is on our side. It's all over the place, dude. Obviously, market gapped up and liked what, the first comments were. Didn't really give a lot of credit to what we had after that. Taking a look this morning, we don't have too much craziness coming right into the open. This is News Squawk, my favorite source for financial news. If you want to check it out, this is the fastest source in my humble biased opinion because I'm partnered with them. For financial news. It's Squawk. It's people standing by in real time, ready to read the news before it even prints. This is super badass. But if you guys want to check it out, link is down below the chat. Nothing too crazy, like right off the open. Of course, comments still coming in from the Iran situation, but not an insane amount of volatility. Like I think a lot of people were expecting a huge movement. We did get a gap, and we haven't filled it. We just pushed to the upside. Got to pull back, and now we're continuing back higher. But nothing too crazy there. As far as scheduled news events today, we got consumer confidence. Just to talk about what we got for scheduled news events coming up. Consumer confidence today, 10 a.m. Eastern. That's 15 minutes from right now. We've got PCE on Thursday. We got a couple FOMC members speaking tomorrow. That's not that crazy. And then, yeah, we don't have that crazy of a week this week. I thought we had more stuff cooking. No, consumer confidence on Tuesday. Low impact until Thursday, 8:30 a.m. We got core PCE price index, GDP, all of that at 8:30 a.m. Those are high impact news events. New home sales at 10. That could be kind of interesting. We do have crude oil and natural gas on Thursday, so those are moving the markets a little bit more than they normally are. Obviously, with everything going on in the Middle East, there's just heightened focus on that. And then we've got, yeah, just light on Friday. So I thought we had more after the holiday. No. Next week looks much heavier. NFP on Friday. So, all right, not too much to worry about there by way of news. So let's see what we can do. Outside of that, trading wise for me, last week was pretty solid. Took a couple payouts. I got some payouts pending, ready to roll. I think I have multiple Top Step payouts ready to roll, 2 or 3, maybe getting close to a 4th one, all ready to be taken. I made it to the Tradeify Grand Cup. Let me see if I can pull that up. Made it to the Tradeify Grand Cup round 2. We're gonna be full porting some accounts this week. Oh, here it is. This is the last week was a qualifier. There was actually 65. I didn't know there was that many people. I thought it was 30-something thousand. 65,000 traders traded for the Great Tradeify Grand Cup. The top 1,000 that put up the biggest balance got moved into the next round. I ended up with like 13,000 something, 13,100, 13,400, whatever the number was. And that put me at rank like 803 to finish out. I was in like the 700s into the last day. So this opens up for trading. I thought it opened up for trading last night for today. This opens up for trading tomorrow. And it's a head-to-head knockout for 10 days. And half of the field gets eliminated. If you don't beat the person's P&L, half the field gets eliminated. They narrowed a lot of what you can trade down, and I will say one big downside that I have here is that I can't trade YM. It's NQ, ES, gold, and crude oil only. That's it. They took off silver, which I think makes sense because obviously it was just a full port silver fest. But I have to trade NQ. I can't trade YM, so we'll see how I do. A couple different strategies that you can go for with this. It's kind of funny. Obviously, not an enormous amount to do with, you know, consistent trading. I do think you have to display some skill to get there, but there's a lot of luck involved. You know, you can't say what's going to happen on any next day, right? You know, nobody has a 100% win rate or even close to it, so you know we're not able to pull that. But we'll see. We'll see. They got the flags next to our name, which I thought was awesome. They got everybody representing countries, so that should be fun. But yeah, if you want to check out Tradeify, code RDF, gonna get you the best deal. That was a free thing to join, which is pretty cool. There's money on the line, which is pretty cool. As far as prop firm deals, let's see. I had a couple things pulled up here. I'm in 2 Lucid live accounts. I haven't really traded them at all. Last week I just took a micro trade, open and close on them. If you guys want to check out Lucid, 50% off with code RDF. These are some of the, obviously, they've just grown an insane amount. These are some of the most aggressive accounts. The program is absolutely solid. The payouts are instant. The back end is super, super fast. Awesome accounts from Lucid. I took a ton of payouts. I took more payouts faster than I have with any firm, and I got moved live faster than I have with any firm. It was insane. And I think that's a reflection of just a really, really good program, right? That supports, you know, traders if you could trade. So if you want to check it out, link down below. I'll throw the link in chat for Lucid as well. But looking forward to trading with them a bit more on the live accounts. Throw this in chat. We had a whole bunch of insane deals from prop firms last week. I don't know if you guys capitalized on it. We had Alpha Futures, it was a 50% off. We had Take Profit Trader, which was a 50% off. I loaded up on both of those. So when you see me taking payouts from Alpha Futures and Take Profit Trader coming up, you'll know why. Lucid is really solid at 50%. They're still running that, I think, through the end of... Watching this turn to the downside. Let's see. But 50% off is solid from them. Top 1 Futures is 50% off all accounts as well, including the Elite Daily accounts. Talk about that in just a minute. And Top Step is Top Step. I'm not partnered or affiliated with Top Step, but I continue to do really well with them. Really, really well with Top Step. I gotta say, I think one of the reasons... This is going to be a bigger conversation, but I think one of the reasons that I end up doing so well with Top Step is I can trade really well on Top Step X. And I hate to say that, but I think it's the truth. I can't put my finger on why I end up so profitable with them, more so than others. that platform is really solid. So, well, they had a lot of issues with it. Let me go back. I was born and raised with TradingView, right? TopStep X is Project X. They have an integrated TradingView chart. I switched over once they launched that. As soon as they launched it, only as TopStep X. I was trading with TopStep almost exclusively back then. I was on TopStep TV every week. I was on TopStep X for years, right? Once they pulled it from all the other firms, at the same time, they were having a lot of issues with it. They were down like for a full day, you know, a couple times coming into the end of last year. And then it was big outages. They were kind of getting sketchy, maybe not making things right. And at that point, I was like, dude, this thing is melting down. We got to get off this. They've been pretty solid this year. They've been pretty solid. They've had a lot of, you know, not issues. A lot of not issues. So one thing that I've been considering, we were talking about TradeSync. One thing I've been considering is using Project X, TopStep X, as a leader account. And I've seen other people do this. Using it as a leader account and then copy trading to other accounts, because you can't trade on Project X on any other platform anymore, any other prop firm anymore. You used to be able to. They took it away. But you can copy trade from, you know, a TopStep X account. So I've thought about that. I'm probably going to test it, but you know, it's a little frustrating when you're on a platform for so long, and I knew that was going to happen, and that gets pulled from you, right? You know, we train our eyes, we get comfortable, we get confident with whatever tools we use. And if you use the same tools for years, then all of a sudden you switch to TradingView and Tradeovate, which I'm on right now, you know, there's going to be a negative effect, whether you want to admit that or not. Trading's trading. You need to be able to trade across multiple platforms. Here we go to the downside, guys. I'm still looking at this long. You know, you need to be able to trade across multiple platforms. You need to be flexible. The space is always going to change. You know, whatever platform you're trading with now is not going to be the same in 5 years, even if you're on the same platform. But, you know, something that I've thought about. And the data has been there in my face this year as I've come back to trading, you know, sim accounts really aggressively, where I do really well on Project X. And plot twist, so do a lot of other traders. So I also am going to be testing. I'm already set up with it. I'm also going to be testing TradeC and Alpha Trader's TradingView integrated chart thing that they just launched called Alpha Trader. I'm going to be testing with both of those platforms. Again, I think the platform stuff, it's nuanced, right? It's not the end of the world. It's not going to make or break you for profitability, right? And I can make money on different platforms, but do I have a little bit better of a hit rate and a risk to reward and an edge and a little bit more successful flip day on certain platforms over another? The answer is yeah. So, you know, if I can use that to my advantage, I'm going to try to do that. Guys, I'm watching this long as I'm yapping here, and I'll talk to you guys in chat. Here. I'm watching this for a long here. I do like it. We came all the way back down. We're hitting this zone, finding buyers in here again. Sweeping this 930 low. We have news coming up at 10 a.m. It is orange folder. It's not insane, but I'm looking at this for a long. I mean, I think we could absolutely turn to the downside here and just rip faces off. I would have loved to catch this all the way down where I wanted it here, where we're filling the gap, but I'm getting ready to long this for the move all the way back up towards VWAP and through. Getting ready to long this down here. Yeah, guys, I think we get volatility at 10 a.m. Here's my game plan. I think we get volatility at 10 a.m. If we sell off into this at 10 a.m., man, buyers here again. Again, huh? Just taking a look because I'm getting ready for the long here, guys. Yeah, buyers here again off the lows. I'm going to run it, guys. I'm going to run it. I'm long. I'm long here. I'm long 50,000, 735 in the top one live account. What did I end up with? I was moving that around last second. Yeah, about a 200-point stop loss. About 200-point stop loss, $1,000 worth of risk. If we come through this really aggressively, fill this gap to the downside, and then break through, I'm out for an L. I'm not going to run a stupid wide stop loss. I was considering like 250, 300 to get it like way, way out here. I'm not going to do that. No fixed take profit, but I'm looking for a quick move back up to VWAP, back up to this volume point of control. That's the thesis of this trade. I'm glad I was patient, at very least to get my zone hit. I did take this a little bit more aggressively on the way back out rather than on the way down. So a little bit more conservatively, let's say. Aggressive would be, I think, buying into selling pressure. Buying into a little bit of buying pressure on low time frames, right, as we start to push back up. But I'm looking for a move back up here. That will present me with a nice quick W. Easy 200 points back up to current volume point of control, current VWAP. Even if we're not going to just break through the highs here, I think this is a really reasonable spot to return to before we continue lower. But we do have some news coming up at 10 a.m. Got some news coming up at 10 a.m. Consumer confidence. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So, let's see what the market's got for me. Chat. AJ. AJ said you're having an issue with a top 1 futures account that you trade. Working with Clay to resolve it, but decided to pick up a Lucid account to give that a shot. AJ, do me a favor. AJ Bullinger, what's up, brother? Good to see you in here. Do me a favor. Shoot me a DM in Discord describing what you have going on, please, in detail. Screenshots are super helpful as well. Number one, I'll try to help you get it fixed. But number two, I really like to know what's going on. You know, if there's any kind of issue. So, you know, please let me know. It sounds like you already are working with Clay, so that's the person to work with. But let me know. Let me know what you got going on. I want to hear it. Please. When you find time, maybe after the stream. Or after your trading day. For sure, I'll get over. Oh, yeah. Thanks, brother. Dwayne, I find TOSFX much easier as well. I've heard good things about Trade C as well, but I'd rather wait till it's established. Yeah, we were talking about Trade C. Cheated on Friday. Listen to ASFX. Clay was on there talking about Black Arrow. Yeah, Black Arrow is a company that bought Bookmap, and they have a trading platform that they're looking at launching with a Bookmap integrated chart, order flow integrated. So, but yeah, the platforms are important. You know, it's not the end of the world, but it is important. It's your weapons, right? Your weapons of choice. So, you know, it's kind of tough with the prop firm thing. You know, prop firm to live account and, you know, charting on TradingView. Coming into news here in about 10 seconds, guys. Just want to say that right now. Letting this trade run. I'm looking for the move back towards VWAP. If we get a really aggressive ton of volatility out of this for some reason to the upside, could look for the quick close. Let's see what this does for our day here. ES all the way back up to VWAP. Well, YM is sitting patiently down around the lows. NQ cracking overnight high. This is something I'd be looking for a short. If we can come back to this, but just to map this out real quick, would be looking for a short on the first bit of selling pressure on something like this on NQ. Just to talk about this. YM. Still pushing lower, going to fill this gap. Let's see. But yeah, man, the space continues to change. We get new software, new companies, new technology. And I think it's going to get better and better, right? It's pretty competitive. So, you know, but that was my history with Project X, right? Like, I was born and raised on, you know, TradingView. So I love a TradingView chart, which is why I'm here trading on Tradeovate through TradingView. I really don't want to come off of a TradingView chart. It's really, you know, difficult to try to read something else and chart on something else. But the execution when you layer a prop firm account into TradingView is horrible. I mean, it's like what I'm doing here. It's just not good. The execution's horrible. The data is slow. It's tick based. You know, it's not level 2 data. You know, it's not tick by tick. It's like it's slow. So you know, I don't love that, right? And Project X for a while gave us a TradingView chart with all of our favorite TradingView tools, almost all of them, right? And then good execution, fast printing candles, fast execution. That was cool until two things happened. They took it away from everybody, but before they took it away from everybody, it started melting down. There was issues, there was data delays, there was outages, everybody was having issues. We weren't able to trade for days at a time. You know, and that renders it useless. It doesn't matter how nice the Ferrari is if it doesn't start, right? If I can't drive it, you know, it's cool to look at, and you know, but I can't use it, right? So you know, you got to go over to you know, your Toyota or whatever. Anyway, I'm interested to test some different platforms. TradeC is brand new. I've heard good things. I've heard bad things. I'm gonna find out for myself. Alpha Trader, brand new. TradingView integrated chart. They said it's a lot like Project X. We'll see. I'm gonna test that. You know, prop firm accounts. So, you know, I'm not really gonna put too much weight on how my trading goes with those guys as I'm testing it. But the other option is trading whatever platform you want, and then daisy chaining all your prop accounts behind it, or just whatever prop account you want to trade, but using copy trading as a leader with TradeSyncer. You can copy trade from whatever platform you want on whatever prop firm you want to whatever other ones that you want to trade. Again, there's a layer of risk in there. It maybe doesn't get you the exact fill, right? So we'll see. But I'm probably going to test that as well. I'm going to test copy trading from a Project X account to like a Tradeovate, you know, prop firm account, for example. Just kind of see what happens. Because I'm not you know, for YM it's fine, right? For higher time frame stuff like this, it's not great. You know, there's money left on the table, but it's okay. For like NQ scalping really aggressively, it's not really good. It's too slow. It's just way too slow, and that margin of error is just is way too slim, right? We pay for all of the best stuff, or at least I do. Fastest internet, fastest software, fastest hardware, and then to deal with like lag is just not acceptable. So I'm gonna try to figure out what the best case for me is. But that was something that I noticed over the last couple months. I was like, why am I doing so well on certain firms and maybe not as well with others? I crushed it across multiple firms this year. There's some outliers, right? Take Profit Trader, I struggled with the most, but I know why that is. Different rules, right? Intraday trailing drawdown, very difficult to deal with. I did better I did really well, especially just managing flip days and scalpy, you know, style trading on Project X, right? And, you know, what's the difference? Why is that? You know, platforms there. So, I just try to trust the data. Just to finish that yap session up, I try to trust the data. Look at what's working, look at what's not working. You know, ask questions why, and then do more of what's working, do less of what's not working. Let's see. NQ looking at that 30K mark like it owes me money. Yep, shorts look good. What happened on NQ? Let's talk about this. So, again, what I look for on NQ, I talked about this before, and I kind of end up very discretionary. NQ, YM I would say is a mean reversion scalpy YM is a mean reversion swing style trade. NQ is a continuation, primarily continuation scalpy style movement. Not always. Off of overnight high, all right, whatever level we have looking left to the upside and downside, Asia, London high, prior day high, Asia, London low, prior day low. Once we hit that, I'm looking for some selling pressure and then a reversion style trade, right? Or at least a bit of a continuation of the downside. And what I'm trying to challenge myself to do here, which has been working really well, is get real tight with a stop loss, right? I'm not selling into buying pressure. I'm waiting for some selling pressure to come through, right? You know, so something along those lines. which we can, you know, paper trade. I'm in a trade on YM. I can't physically put another one on this account right now, but you know, that's essentially what I'd be looking for. After we do whatever we're gonna do, right? I will look for more continuation trades, right? Are we trending to the upside? Top-down analysis first, right? Are we trending to the upside? I'd say so, chat. I mean, what do you guys think, right? Like, what direction are we going here? Okay, we're going up. You know, bias is long. Now we zoom in. All right, what did we do in the overnight session? Where are we relative to last week's volume profile? Where are we relative to yesterday's volume profile? What did we do in the overnight session? Bullish, bullish, bullish. You can make a case for a turn to the downside here and pretty choppy back and forth, right? Overall, I'm going to be looking for a continuation long after a potential reversion style trade off of a key level. But you know, essentially that's going to be the idea on NQ, right? Where would I look for those continuation longs? You know, pullbacks, breaking retest, very, very simple. The same stuff that you see most traders do for trend style trades. Looking for prior highs, prior lows broken in an uptrend for a continuation movement, right? Very simple stuff. Very, very simple stuff. You know, if we sold off down here where I'd be looking to take a profit on a short, I'd be potentially looking for a long, right? You know, for a come down, pop stops, right? Pull back, and then look for continuation. But first, we're long YM. Oh, let's see. Yeah, we talk about that. Shorts are good. Could currently use to trade C. It's good so far. Sand, see you later, brother. Sand's dipping out. Yeah, man. I've heard good and bad, right? I don't know. I'm gonna test it myself and see. Right? It's new. Anything new is gonna have some issues, right? I just don't want to use Rhythmic ever again. Yeah, I'm not a Rhythmic fan. I'm not a big Rhythmic fan. It's a data feed, Rhythmic, if you don't know what we're talking about. But I'd prefer to use a different data feed if I can. What's up, MKC? What's happening, guys? What's happening? Sloth! What's up? Sloth asks, what happens if you just don't trade and your opponent finishes negative? You win. We were talking about the Tradeify Grand Cup for you guys that missed it. Is it this? Yeah, for you guys that missed it, I did make it into the Tradeify Grand Cup qualifiers, made it to the top 1,000 out of 65,000. I'm the best trader in the world. Nobody does it like me. No, I'm just kidding. I just full ported, which is what you had to do. You had to risk ruin and put up an insane return, and got lucky the same way that, you know, a lot of people are doing in here. I think there's some skill. There's a lot of luck, right? You know, is there absolutely no skill involved? I don't know. Everybody would be in the top 1,000, right? If there was, you know, no skill involved, you know, everybody would win. Is it all skill and no luck? No, this is not how trading works. You can't decide to win every single trade every single day with 100% certainty. That's just not how it works, right? We're going to have losing trades. We're going to have losing days. You know, if you're having a losing streak in the middle of a competition, you know, you're going to lose. But essentially how this works now is it's head-to-head, 1v1, essentially just 1v1. They give you a it's all demo money, right? $50,000 account, no max loss limit, no daily loss limit. You can only trade NQ, ES, oil, and gold. So this does not bode well for me. I can't trade YM. I'm gonna trade NQ probably. You can see the opponents, how much money they've made or lost 4 times a day. Only 4 times a day, at set intervals like 9 p.m., 8 a.m., 12 p.m., you know, whatever. And it's only on closed trades. So they could be running a trade $10,000 in profit and you won't know about it. You have to trade, to answer your question, Sloth, who was asking about this. You have to take 3 trades. You have to open and close 3 trades. You could do it on micros and hardly do anything. And hold each one, I think, for like 15 or 20 seconds. You can't just not trade at all. But if you just open and close 3 tiny micro trades and you don't make any money, and this person loses and a little bit of money and finishes the day down, you win. They get eliminated. It's whoever finishes the day higher. So, I'm not going to detail my strategy because I do trade live, and this person probably like everybody else, had looked, looked who it was. But I'm not going to detail my exact strategy. But I think there's a couple schools of thought, right? You're either going to do one of three things, right? You're either going to not trade at all, which is, I think, the most conservative. You're going to hardly trade. So you essentially guarantee you that you don't lose money. And you're going to bet that this person just loses money. That they just end slightly less. They don't have to blow up. They don't have to lose the whole account. But they just don't make any money, right? Which is pretty easy to do. You just have a down day. That takes you out of potentially losing money and, whatever. Option 2 is you trade normally, right? You just wait for your little setups to come. You trade with one, NQ mini. You manage risk. You try to make a little bit of money, and you hope that the amount that you make is, more than that person, right? Option 3, which would be the more aggressive, is you full port the account. You just YOLO it. You put your one mini on. You probably are not going to blow the entire account unless we had an insane movement. But you are just going to bet on the direction of one of those 4 instruments for the entire day, and you're going to hold it to the close. And, you're going to try to scalp super aggressively, back and forth all day, 1,000 trades, in and out, and just try to put up a huge number, right? But you risk, of course, losing money. You risk losing $10,000 and, the other person doesn't trade at all and they make money. So a couple schools of thought. I've seen different people talk about going about it different ways. Again, it looks pretty funny. Shout out Tradeify for putting it on. If you want to check out Tradeify, 40% off with code RDF. I am partnered and affiliated with Tradeify. I think it's fun, right? Do I think it has a lot to do with real trading? Some, not all of it, right? But I think it's fun. It's free. They have a big prize pool. There's $200,000 to the winner, like $80,000 to second place, $40,000 to third and fourth. It's crazy, and it was free to join. So, plus some much needed fun, man. Trading can be very solitary and boring, and this and that. So I think it's cool. A lot of it turns into, I made it to the first place, so I'm the best trader in the world. Buy my course, and that's just garbage. So I like to create realistic expectations around it. The first part, I think, was a really cool way to do it. The second part's a really cool way to do it too. It's head to head, but it's strategy. It's just, you got to try to anticipate what the other person's going to do. You could use those, those check-ins to see what the person did, right? It's interesting. So I'll keep you guys updated for sure. Chat, what's up? I was wondering how they were up so fast as trading open the leaderboard full porting. Yeah. Sorry if I missed you. Been in a call. Have you looked at which outlaws are on your side of the draw? Yeah, I have. Here, let's go to it. You guys want to talk about this? Are you gonna let it run full stop loss? Like I said, I'm not gonna give you guys my strategy because this person, I'm sure, is gonna Googled my name and is gonna watch whatever I'm talking about. So I'm not gonna tell you. Can't tell you guys. I gotta try to not just let you let this other person know what I'm gonna do. Again, I think the strategies are kind of obvious. You could try to wait for the other person and then front run them by a little bit. You could full port the account. You could not trade at all. You could just trade normally, but I'm on NQ since I can't trade YM. But what were we looking at? Leaderboard. Yeah, so it's a bracket, right? It's a bracket, and you can see the bracket. So let me pull the bracket up. Hold on one second. Let me see if I could get the bracket up. Yeah. All right. It's actually really cool. It's I think this stuff is fun, right? Again, not an enormous amount to do with real trading, but let's look at it. So, I'm long 1 YM, looking for a reversion back up towards VWAP. If we start to pop, I'll come back over to this, but for now, let's pull up the bracket. So again, guys, we're talking about the Tradeify Grand Cup. If you missed it, I made it through the qualifiers, finished 800 out of 65,000. You have to get to the top 1,000. Let's see. So this is the bracket where you could actually look at everybody's name. I think I was in this one. Yeah. So check this out. You can actually see it's a fixed bracket. It doesn't change now. Right? So here's me. And again, guys, like I said, it's 50-50, right? You know, if the other person decides to just throw 1 mini of gold on, you know, at market open and holds it to the close and they're on the right side of that, you know, they're going to take the W, right? I'm going to get kicked out by tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe they blow up. Maybe I do something wild. But, you know, who knows? I'm joking around when I say, like, American flag, we're taking it, Memorial Day, long America, you know. So Dwayne asked what the brackets look like. So I know that I'll be facing one of these two if I won here today, one of these four if I won next, right? And then one of these guys down below. But he asked what outlaws are in my bracket. We got Jen Ketter in technically if I continued on, but they're way lower. I wouldn't see an outlaw until like way down here. Whoa. I wouldn't see an outlaw until like way out here, right? Where would one of them come from? No, I wouldn't see one until like all the way out here. So I'm not gonna trade against an outlaw, probably for a long period, unless they won all of their brackets and made it out here. But it's Jen Ketter, Joey Morgan, who I know. I just saw Joey Morgan last month in person. D Money, and I think that was it. J Dunn? Yeah, Jay Dunn, all the way down on the bottom. I would probably not see him until all the way across. And then on the other side, again, this would be like for the, like, you'd have to make it all the way to the complete end of the thing before I saw one of these guys. And again, they would have to win. They'd have to win tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Let me see. Yeah, there was like nobody over here. Desi trades. And yeah, that's it on the other side. Yeah, so round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterfinals. You have to be in the semifinals. I wouldn't see anybody until like the quarterfinals or round like 4 or something. But it's kind of cool. You could see the way that it works, and you could watch. You're gonna get to see if I win tomorrow, right? You know, you'll be able to see everybody's P&Ls and stuff. So it's kind of funny, man. Again, is this a lot to do with real trading and how good of a trader you are? No, you could lose $5,000 and the other person could lose, you know, $10,000 and you win, right? You know, I think it's gonna be a YOLO fest. I think most people, you know, are just going to put 1 mini on and you hope you're on the right side of the market, right? Because they're going to anticipate that the other person's going to do that, and you're going to have to do that if you want to stand a chance to win. You know, maybe you trade normally, maybe you try to scalp a little bit and you just wait for the other person to blow up. But, you know, it's for fun, guys. It's for fun. This does not have to do with you know, a skill set of trading. Otherwise, the same people would win all the competitions all the time, and they don't. You know, they never do. One day, maybe they'll figure out how to structure these, you know, for consistent trading, but not yet. Anyway, we're gonna full port our way to freedom, chat. American flag. Let's get it. Let's get it. In the meantime, we're sitting long YM. Sitting long YM. You're good trader, buddy. I would say you would get close to winning, bro. Did we long YM? We did long YM. NQ all-time highs again. Nice. Morning, guys. Some work is ruining my day. Hi, bye. Sorry, Dumond. I will be on Prop for Match TV today, guys. I will be on Prop for Match TV today after my stream. It's 10:30. I will be on there in an hour at 11:30. All right, guys. Here is the post. I think I reposted it. I'll be on Prop for Match TV, trading with These boys. Look at that guy. Who the hell is that, man? We'll be on prop for Match TV at about 11:30. So after this, I'm going to continue trading live pretty much all damn day, guys. I'm going to catch a little break, try to get some food in me, and we're on prop for Match TV about 11:30. That's the game plan. Zach, how's price been for you these past few months? Good. Really good. I've had an absolutely insane run on prop firms. I don't like to talk like profit number, payout number. I just don't think that stuff is really helpful or relevant. But I took payouts every single week for as many weeks as I can remember. Multiple every single week. And I took payouts on most days. Multiple on many days. So, you know, it's been solid for me, man. You know, has there been down days in between? Has there been lost accounts, lost evals, lost funded accounts? Absolutely. You know, beginning of the year was quite slow for me. Cranked it up on the sim accounts and have been doing pretty damn well. As we started to break and run really aggressively, definitely took some back-to-back L's. But yeah, past few months, really solid, dude. Absolutely no complaints. I've been super locked in though, so I'm not really surprised. 30,050 NQ pushing. Ooh, NQ pushing. NQ cracking 30,000 even, boys. Can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. Fade an overnight high would not have paid. Breaks and retests, breaks and retests, breaks and retests. Just long. Just long only. Let's see if we can get it on YM, man. I am long. Whoa, I don't want that. I am long YM. YM living in its own world, as usual. Drifting lower. Coming to fill the gap. Not doing anything for my day at all. Let's see. I hope Tradeify holds another competition. It seems really fun. Yeah, this was the second one. This was the second one. I think Ninja Trader Arena competitions only let you trade 3 micros to manage full porting. Yeah, I mean, you're like, whatever they limit you to though, Money Reaper, right? Everybody just goes for that max amount. Like, so, you know, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to like, you can make it a level playing field, right? Because the market's going to be even for everybody. The amount, you know, of money that everybody has in their account, the amount you could trade. You know, but it's just like not indicative of what it means to be a good trader and risk manager, which is okay. It's not really supposed to, right? It's for fun. You know, it's for really aggressive trading. So, Zach has price. We saw that. Are you going to let it run? Oh, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. Can't give the full strat. Can't give the full strat on the Tradeify stuff. You may have talked about this in another video. Is there a reason why YM seems to go against the trend of others? Yeah, YM, I would say, is not, like, it's not negatively correlated. It just lives in its own world. It just really lives in its own world. You know why? It's a U.S. indice, but it's different. It's just, you know, the underlying assets that drive the Dow Jones Industrial, you know, 30 are different than the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500, right? Standards & Poor 500. They're different. They're all slightly different. I find, and most traders find, just by, I think, objectively, that the S&P, ES, and the NASDAQ, NQ, are much more correlated than YM, right? I trade them differently for that reason. You know, I trade YM slightly differently than NQ. I'd say definitely differently than NQ. For the most part, on the higher time frames, right? You know, like if you, sorry, I'm on YM. I don't know what I'm doing here. You know, if you zoom way out, right? They're going to look similar, right? You know, this would be YM. We could put them side by side if we really wanted to. You know, this would be NASDAQ. Right? You know, the turns to the downsides, the sell-offs, the consolidation, the pushes to the upside, they're going to look similar, but they're not the same. And this movement was a really good example of it. Look at prior all-time highs in NQ. You can look at what it's doing today, which is pissing me off here. Look at prior all-time highs where we cracked those in NQ and just drove higher. And then look at YM. Look at this crap. Right? Completely different. Completely different. right? So, you know, I had a lot of people say, you know, why are you shorting YM? Market's ripping, right? And, you know, here's YM consolidating in a, you know, in a 1,200 point range for almost a month, you know, and here's NQ. Whoa, sorry. Here's NQ, right? Completely differently, pushing the upside really aggressively, right? Here's all-time highs. You know, YM was over here consolidating. You know, look at NQ. So different. I don't trade them in correlation or lack thereof. I do like to pay attention to what's going on order flow on ES. I just feel like I have a really good read of that. I don't get as much from YM itself. Sometimes we get big standout orders, but like today's a pretty good example. It's just not that helpful. I find NQ and ES, the book map for both of those, to be much more helpful. Much better read of what's going on. But yeah, today's an example of a divergence, for sure. NQ pushing all-time highs, blasting to the upside, big green day getting put in, right? You know, a percent up from the lows. YM not doing that at all, pushing the day lower, so a complete opposite movement, which is not that common. You know, not that common where we get a complete sell-off on one and a complete push to the upside on the other, right? They are still US indices. It's uncommon for them to be just completely decoupled and going, you know, out of control. ES, as you can see, you know, much closer to NQ. Much closer to NQ. Kind of in the middle, which is what tends to happen if we get a day like this. Yep, came down. We got all the way down to this area that I did want off of the open. Took it more aggressively as we started to pop after testing a second time, sweeping these lows, right? I got long somewhere in here or here. Can't remember exactly what time. I think it was right before, yeah, it was right in here, right before 10 a.m. Looking for a move back up towards VWAP, that classic mean reversion trade that we get off of YM so dang beautifully. But maybe not today. Testing lows here. We got a decision to make here. We come outside of this, right? We start closing down below. I think we're headed lower, which is why my stop loss is in here, right? We get all the way down another 100 points off these lows. I think we're headed lower. Now, we could just wick in here and then settle down around this level or settle back up here. But my play was a mean reversion trade off of this, off of yesterday's volume point of control. High volume node, discretionary level, right? Above prior week's value area high, not looking for a huge sell-off. Looking for some of this trend to continue to the upside, right? To buy a dip here. Didn't get that, though. Didn't get that. We got a sell-off off the open and maybe a continuation lower. At least so far we're here. I do think we're getting ready to make a decision. Pop back up to VWAP or take Zach out. Either way, put our trades on without reservation or hesitation. Let them run. Diamond hands. Again, on YM, I'm much more zoomed out. I'm trading the 15-minute chart here, guys. That should be pretty obvious. If you're new here, welcome to the show. Man, what do you do with this? You long it. You just long it, dude. Shorts, no bueno. No bueno. Something on a... something on a short like that would not have paid. I mean, this wasn't that much selling pressure. This wasn't like a really clean, aggressive move back down where we like took anything out. But, you know, fading overnight high is often a nice play. Just super aggressive. And like we talked about for those continuation trades, instead of the pullback, what do we often get? Break of prior high. In an uptrend, we're trending to the upside here. Breaking prior high. Where do we pull back to and find buyers? Around prior high, right? Prior high broken in an uptrend. You can even look at it here. What do we do here? Break prior high, right? Where do we pull back down? Prior high broken in an uptrend. Continuation to the upside. Look at how clean that is. Ooh, prior high broken in the uptrend. Prior high broken in the uptrend. Right? Gives you a way to structure risk. Gives you a way to structure risk. Maybe you take the break. Maybe you take the pullback. You know, you go stop loss below prior lows. Something along those lines. Just a grind higher, though, man. Just an absolute grind higher. ES back above. This is kind of nasty out of ES. That gave you a really nice sell off of VWAP. Break above, maybe a break and retest coming here. Doesn't look too strong though. I gotta say that really doesn't look too strong. And YM drifting lower. YM drifting lower. But gonna hang with you guys for a little bit longer. Like I said, after this stream, you could watch me trade live for longer today. Because after this stream, I am on Prop for a Match TV. Let me pull this back up. I'll be trading with Zach A, Zach Anthony, the other Zach. These guys are live right now. But I'll be on here at about 11:30 a.m. As you can see my face right here. I'll be trading with these guys. Shout out Prop for a Match TV. About 11:30 I'll be back on. Facts. I agree. Doesn't Dow track? Yeah. Yes, it does. This rally has been legendary. Probably the best in our life. Yeah, it depends on how old you are. It depends on how old you are, but yeah, it's been a definite rally. If AI goes more crazy, we see a better one. I think it's such an amazing rally. Yeah, it's a big push, man. Big push to the upside. You know, I'm not a higher time frame speculator, right? I'm not a higher time frame speculator. I definitely don't like to call tops, but I know a lot of traders were calling for one thing over another. They were calling for a blow off top, right? Which would be one big push to the upside. After this big rally, a pullback, a blow off top, kind of like what we're getting here today, and then a more aggressive pullback down. I've heard that called out a couple times, right? A healthy correction. Maybe we continue the drive, right? Maybe we continue this push to the upside. But this has just been such a straight shot, especially on NQ. Such a moonshot, just day over day over day. We finally got the biggest pullback we've gotten since the end of March, right? Back in here, we blasted through all-time highs again. We're pushed in the upside. We could get that really big crack and then a more aggressive break of lows in the uptrend. Again, not to say we're going to turn to the downside, not to say we're going to, collapse. I'm not the higher time frame speculator. It's not what I do. I'm not here to, I don't care what I think is going to happen in the next 6 months. How's that going to help me trading today and tomorrow and maybe for 1 week at a clip? Maybe for some of the longer term investment stuff. But a lot of people calling for that. Blow off top and then a turn down. A really aggressive turn to the downside where we see some serious selling pressure. And again, like that could be fine. If you look at this chart, that's fine. That's hardly a pullback in a huge bullish market when you zoom out and you look at the last couple years, right? When are we going to get something like a really, really aggressive one of these again? Where we really start to come down and crack lows? Don't know. But on the flip side of that, market has just not cared, man. It likes what's going on. Obviously, the semiconductor stuff has been ripping NASDAQ higher. We had conflict that shook a couple week longs out, but for the most part, we just took off from those lows and haven't looked back. But yeah, man, I think we got a lot coming up. we got a lot coming up as far as like higher time frame, bigger picture stuff. Obviously, AI. We are on the frontier of AI. People think that like, you know, ChatGPT and Claude is, you know, the the end of it. It's just the beginning. It's really just the beginning. It's insane. So, you know, I don't know where that's going to take us. I don't know where that's going to take, you know, industry. It's just incredible. So we'll see. I think we're on the forefront of massive advancements, and, you know, we'll see what that means for the economy. There's also a lot of conflict, right? There's a lot of concerns. So we'll see. Watching this trade come back towards entry. Not much for me to do here, besides just hang tight. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. 1038. Let's see. Let's do this, guys. There's been a couple hundred people cycled on and off here. Got 44 likes. I'm going to make this really simple, guys. I'm going to make this really simple. We got 46 people on, 43 people on, back and forth. Make this super simple, guys. Giveaway at 50 likes, and I'm going to say have to hit it. Boom. Here's the deal, guys. We're going to run a giveaway. If we can hit 50 likes. If we can hit 50 likes. Gotta run it at 10:45 or wrap it up. So I'm going to get it ready. I'm going to get the form ready. You do have to be in Discord in order to be in this one. I'm going to throw the Discord. There we go. Gonna throw a Discord link in chat. If you're not in the free Discord, you have to be in the Discord. Smash the like button. If everybody on here hits the like button right now, we will run a giveaway right now. So it's up to you guys. It's in your hands now, chat. You guys can decide if we're running a giveaway today. And again, I'm gonna wrap this stream up about 10:45, 10:50. Get ready for Prop for a Match TV at about 11:30. So if you guys want to trade live with me all damn day, man, hop on Prop for a Match TV, say what's up. Let them know Team Real Deal's in the chat. And I don't know, maybe we do some more giveaways on there. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. You guys are trying it. I see 47 likes. I see 47. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hit it. Let's see what we can do. Remember, you have to be in the Discord in order to get the form. Get ready for it, guys. We're going to make this one quick. Let's see, 49 likes. What happened? You guys want to play games? I don't know. It's up to you. You got 4 minutes. Smash the like button, and we'll see if we're gonna run one. This is going to be for a Top 1 Futures 50K Elite Daily account. This is the promo for the Instant Funded. I think I have one for the Elite Daily. Oh, look at that. 50% off the Elite Daily accounts dropped today from these guys. They are No activation fee. As you can see, daily payouts. No consistency rule in funded, man. No minimum trading days to pay out once you're funded. You got to make a buffer, of course. But these are solid, dude. If you want to check them out, link is going to be in chat after this giveaway. Link is down below in the description if you guys want to check it out. Let's see. 2 minutes. 2 minutes to hit 50 likes. Can you do it? Ah, you guys did it. There you go. You guys did it. All right. As we get ready to take a damn stop on this. Yuck. Beautiful reaction here. Coming all the way back down to the lows. So, we have giveaway form. All right, guys. Giveaway form is live in Discord. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get this one filled out. Okay? Let's fix this. Let's fix Discord. Link in chat. 5, 4, 5 mins, ends, 10. I'm gonna make it super simple so you guys don't yell at me. 10:48 a.m. EST. Okay? Boom. Run it. Run it. Run it. Run it. Let's run it. Let's run it, chatty big chat. All right, we got responses rolling in. We're going to get the ducks ready to roll. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go, because I got to hop on Prop for a Match TV after this. See what we can do on that stream. Try to make it super clear for you guys because you only got a couple minutes. 10:48 a.m. Eastern. That's what we're gonna run it till. What's the keyword? Keyword for what? Zach, giveaway account you gave for those who purchase was said to be Elite Daily, but I got Elite Standard. Was it? Was it supposed to be an Elite Daily? If you feel like you got the wrong account for something that you won, Purple Ninja, shoot me a DM. Just let me know. I don't think that I had a designation for what those accounts were at all. I don't think that I had a designation. But if I said somewhere that you were supposed to get some account and you didn't get the right account and you won something, shoot me a DM. I'll make it right for you. I make sure that everybody gets whatever account that they're supposed to get. So, apologies if you got something different, but I don't think for those ones that I had said what type of account it was supposed to be. Because it was for multiple different firms using code RDF, so I had to see what you purchased. But shoot me a DM, brother. I'll make sure I take care of you. I love doing the giveaways. It's super fun, but the back end of it is an absolute nightmare, guys, I gotta say. So we're making a whole bunch of changes coming up. Stay tuned. I'm on and off the stream quite a bit coming up, even though I'm streaming twice today. I'm on and off stream quite a bit coming up. I'm getting a ton of videos put together, a ton of different things put together, a ton of back-end stuff structured to support those that are super duper focused and ready to level up in trading. That's the game plan. I have loved growing so much. I've been streaming live for almost 2 years. We got some changes coming up, boys. But it's been super fun, man. I do love doing the giveaways. I love doing the duck races. I love doing all the fun stuff that we do. But, man, it takes so much away from actually trading and doing anything to do with trading. Not to complain as we get ready to do a giveaway. But, yeah, we'll try to get it figured out. Diamond hands till we die. Yeah, diamond hands. Yeah, we talked about that. We're good. Completely forgot I had a Lucid account. Didn't trade this morning. Ah, that's not good. That's not good. All right, guys, 60 seconds. 60 seconds to get the form filled out. I know you guys are gonna, I know some people are gonna miss this. 60 seconds. I have to get ready to hop on another live stream after this. I gotta try to grab a little bit of lunch and keep things rolling. So go ahead, get it filled out. Remember, you have to follow all the instructions. If you try to play games, if you fill it out with your brothers and your mothers and your sister and your cousin and your aunts and your uncle's email and all that BS, you're not only gonna get banned from the stream, you're gonna get banned from the firms. Multiple. You can see them partnered with most of the major firms. You get banned for giveaway fraud, so don't do that. I know you guys love to spam the forums and, you know, use a whole bunch of different stuff. Just try not to do that. It's not gonna be good. I've been so patient in the past, but not so much anymore. All right. Last chance, guys. Ducks are getting ready to run. Ducks are getting ready to run. Form is closing. It's 10:48 a.m. It's 10:48 a.m. Eastern. Form is closing. We are done. No longer accepting responses. All right. Boom. And like I said, the giveaways and stuff, man, they're for everybody on the live stream. And as also along with that, I know a lot of people are just hopping on live streams for giveaways. We could all tell by the view counts and, you know, and the analytics. Oh, you know, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more difficult for the people that are only trying to hop on for the live stream. 3 minutes on the clock. Good luck, everybody. This is for a Top 1 Futures Elite Daily account, Purple Ninja. 50K. So, since I said it, we'll make sure you get it. The other one, I don't remember. I don't remember saying that that it was for a specific account, but I'll go back and check with you. And I've been wrong plenty of times before. Plus, I don't really care that much. I'll make sure you get whatever you're supposed to get, brother. Always. Yeah, there was a period where, like, some people started to just run, like, we're giving out $100,000 or, you know, tons of giveaways, 10K giveaway. And then, like, they just, like, weren't doing any giveaways. They weren't giving away any accounts to people that were winning. So that's not cool. Definitely don't want to do that. Oh. Oh. OG, what's up? Zach, how's the Grand Cup going? We talked about it. We talked about it a lot. Scroll back on the live stream. You'll see. It's not open yet. I'm into the round 2, but it hasn't started yet. Starts tonight at 6 p.m. Tomorrow's the first day of round 2. But guys, I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet because again, I'm hopping on Prop Firm Matches live stream. If you want to trade live with me, continue trading live with me for the rest of the next couple hours. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on there. About 11:30. I'll be on Prop Firm live stream. Prop Firm Matches, Prop Firm Match TV live stream. Coming up 11:30. So, quick disclaimer before we even finish the Ducks. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation. Do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is even in Prop Firm accounts. Remember, guys, trading's risky. Most traders lose money. If you trade, you're probably going to lose all your money. It's a crazy thing to do. Also, read the partnership and affiliate disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that, for you to do your own research, make your own decisions. Going to be live here with you guys on Prop Firm Match TV. If you want to know the live stream schedule for the rest of the week, hop in Discord. I want to see you guys in chat. I don't know why you were live. When were you live? I didn't know you were going to go live over here. I take my valuable time the same way you guys take your valuable time to write that stuff out. So if you want to check that out, hop in Discord. Link is pinned. Link down below. Free Discord. Keep you guys updated. 15 seconds to go. Let's see who's taking it. Send the link for the following stream. That's a good idea. Hang on. 3 seconds to go. Who's taking this one? Digital Nukes. Digital Nukes taking the W. It's a Discord OG. Ivan. There is Prop Firm Matches TV stream. Right there. Right there. W's in the chat. WWWWW. Let's do it. Digital Nukes. This is a Discord OG. I don't have to check anything. I know exactly who this is. Taking the W on this one. Guys, this has been awesome. Shout out. Where is the link? Shout out Top 1 Futures. If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, link is down below this video. Code RDF. Going to get you 50% off the Elite Daily accounts. Solid accounts, man. They are also 50% off the instant funded accounts, which I think are some of the best in the industry. Guys, you'll see what this trade is doing by the time I hop on Prop for a Match TV. I'll talk about it on there. We'll be trading some NQ with the other Zach as well. It's been awesome. Thanks for hopping on. I'll see you guys soon.